So we're here at Panasonic's 4K Experience Center. It's just been inaugurated at Connaught Place, and we have a whole range of cameras. They are a new range of cameras based on the 1-inch type sensors, which are basically meant for wedding and professional videography purposes. So this is an entirely new lineup, and Panasonic is reinstating its focus on 4K cameras, on professional 4K cameras, and the need for higher resolution in video cameras. Along with that, we're also getting very interesting insights on how people are using higher resolution sensors despite a size limit on 1-inch sensors. And Panasonic is also using micro four thirds in a few cameras. For instance, the DVX 200 uses a micro four thirds sensor, so this also gets a more higher professional range of utility, so to say. And they're also using a diverse range of ports as well, whereas the rest of the cameras get 1-inch sensors. But there is, as Panasonic would claim, there is no limitation in terms of the dynamic range, or they are also trying to negate the limitations of the sensor size. So we're quickly going to look through the cameras. We've just been experiencing them, and they seem pretty well equipped as 4K professional video cameras, and they are also being used for broadcast purposes. So we have good reason to believe that Panasonic has made good progress in terms of these cameras. Now we're here at the upper floor of the Experience Center, and this one is all about the mirrorless and advanced compact lineup. We have the Panasonic Lumix GH4, which is already there. We've got a very interesting insight that despite being a mirrorless camera, Panasonic has seen an increase of 200% in terms of consumer interest in the mirrorless segment, and they had seen a definite increase in terms of the need for including smaller sensors than APS-C, which gives them a definite improvement and benefit in terms of portability of the camera. So we're quickly going to look through the range that Panasonic has here. We're going to start with the camera that's in discussion, the Panasonic GH4. We've already had its successor launched at CES under the Panasonic Lumix GH5 range. It's going to come to India around the end of February, commercial launch around the end of March. But this is the GH4 that has been so widely touted to be one of the best mirrorless cameras around. And Panasonic, of course, has its tie-up with Leica for the lenses, but even then the body itself is much lighter. It uses a micro four thirds sensor along with a swiveling touch screen, and you get a proper eyepiece, electronic eyepiece of course, and of course manual modes and everything. So what Panasonic claims with these cameras is the fact that despite having a smaller sensor, these are more than capable of giving you high resolution output. We're quickly going to go ahead, and this was the GH4, and here we have a camcorder which is once again with a focus on 4K, as you would have known by now. You do get vari angle and all the video accessories that you get. HDR, you get Wi-Fi controls, and you also get a mini HDMI AV out and an SD card input and micro USB. So a whole range of utility is what Panasonic is looking at, and not just mere sensor size and resolution. Panasonic also claims that its cameras are using a higher resolution in terms of the sensor size. So what these cameras essentially do is that despite them being a 1-inch sensor and the likes of the GH4 being a micro four thirds sensor, you can actually crop into the frame to get higher resolution output from the frames themselves. So that seems to be a pretty interesting input from Panasonic. We're also going to move on to the FZ2500. This one as well, as you can see, this has a slightly higher body but gets an extensive range of controls. You get your 3-step ND filters, which is very interesting, 3 customizable function keys, along with a very extensive lens with a swiveling viewfinder. You get 2 toggles for the settings. We're quickly going to switch it on. Oh, it's switched on. Yep, there we go. So you get almost 20x zoom with the camera. A really interesting element that Panasonic has once again put across. So with all of this, we're also seeing the improvement of these super zoom cameras as well. we get a 1-inch 20.1 megapixel eventual output, effective output, and all the Panasonic cameras come paired with Leica lenses, so that's how Panasonic aims to cover the optics bit. And from what I'm seeing when using these cameras, they have the latest generation processors that Panasonic is building almost at par with the likes of Nikon and Canon and Sony. So in terms of the speed of shooting, in terms of the effective buffer size, these are all very adept at producing fast images, which is very crucial for mirrorless cameras. We also have the FZ1000 range. These are the bridge cameras, and we'll also move on to get the smaller variant, the FZ300 range, and these are all 4K certified cameras from Panasonic's Lumix range. And Panasonic's focus with this entertainment center is 4K. It's not about TVs, it's all about cameras. You can also see a host of accessories over here. You get all the lenses powered by Leica, and you get Panasonic's other cameras ranged all over there. You get the entire range of interchangeable lenses for the Panasonic Lumix GH4 and the professional broadcast cameras. With all of this, this is what Panasonic's focus seems to be in 2017. It's all about 4K, it's all about portability, it's all about speed of shooting and convenience of shooting. That's what Panasonic wants to do, and with the upcoming GH5 coming to India, we are very excited about the future that Panasonic has for cameras in India.